Today, let's talk about management, which every business school student needs to know. What exactly is management? Management is not about dealing with books. It is about communicating with people. So if you only learn management from books, it is actually less effective. If someone is truly interested in management, they should experience real practical operations and then verify what might have been taught in books. I would define management like this. Management is all the activities and processes undertaken to successfully complete tasks and achieve goals. What do these activities and processes include? POLC. P is planning, O is organizing, L is leading, and C is control. So what is management? Management is all the activities and processes undertaken to successfully complete tasks and achieve goals. These activities and processes include planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. If we look at it in English, management is called management. And the first three letters are man, then a GE, which is age, and then MENT, which is meant. Management, interestingly, has man, age, and meant. Relative to the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, we need to undertake to achieve our goals and complete tasks. The people, time, events, places, and things involved in this are management. It can be personal management, team management, or the management of a large organization. Even deciding what to have for dinner tonight. If you are eating by yourself, you might consider, I want to eat something different tonight, so how should I eat it? Should I cook it myself or buy it from outside? Is it to go out and buy it yourself or order Uber Eats? You can see that these activities involve what? You have a goal you want to achieve, so you set a goal and then plan. This planning includes the four major management activities you see on the left. You will analyze and then have a goal. So your goal might be to have dinner at 7 o'clock tonight. This is personal management, but you will think about whether to cook yourself or buy from outside. Are you going to buy it outside or order Uber Eats? This will relate to your environment. Apart from your goal, so everyone sees the environment in the upper right corner in red letters. Here, I especially want to talk about the task environment. The task environment means the most direct environment you are involved with to successfully complete the task and achieve the goal. For example, if you plan to buy dinner and it suddenly rains heavily, your plan will differ from what you originally set, so you need to make adjustments at any time. After you have completed the planning, you then start to organize. The meaning of organizing in this context includes organizing your resources and your team. So what resources might you have? If I plan to go out to buy something, I might think about bringing an umbrella or driving a car to avoid getting wet. Or I might decide to order Uber Eats. So I need to find out which restaurant to order from, possibly by checking online or placing an order online. All of this involves allocating resources and dividing tasks within the team. Because you are alone, there is no third activity here, which is leadership, including motivation and communication. If today there are more people, for example, we want to have dinner together, but not cook at home, then we need to eat out. So someone needs to go, someone needs to order, and someone needs to pick up the food, right? Or if we order Uber Eats, it's the same. Like if we ask someone to pick up the food, how will they take action? You might need to communicate with him and give him appropriate motivation for him to take that action. After he takes this action, if today he goes to buy, or who bought it last time. So this involves everyone comparing themselves with others in the organization when taking action. This is similar to what is discussed in management theory, such as equity theory, goal setting theory, or expectancy value theory. There are many theories used for motivation because you want to prompt action. So in addition to communicating with him, you also need to motivate him. Whether this entire task can be successfully completed requires control. Control is needed, meaning perhaps he has been out for 15 minutes but hasn't returned yet. You need to ensure whether, for example, the environment has changed, like if it suddenly started raining heavily and if he is stuck because of the rain and can't come back. This is a management cycle. In other words, what do we mean by management? Management is all the activities and processes undertaken to successfully complete tasks and achieve goals. All these activities include planning, organizing, leading, and controlling so that the final goal can be achieved. This is management, to manage effectively. Is it about being efficient or effective? Efficiency is called efficiency. Effectiveness is called effectiveness. So is it efficient or effective? Efficient means using the least input to achieve the most output. This is called efficiency. Your input includes your resources or your time. The less you invest but achieve the same output, or if you use the same investment but achieve more output, then that is more efficient. Another aspect is effectiveness. Sometimes we talk about high efficiency, but actually go in the wrong direction. Going in the wrong direction means not being effective, and in the end, you don't achieve the effect and effectiveness you originally intended. Since management is required, it must be effective management. This effective management is actually divided into these two aspects. It is best to balance both, but if you can't, effectiveness should come first. You may need to abandon some efficiency considerations to achieve your goal. Otherwise, you might work very hard but do the wrong thing or go the wrong way, which is the most frightening. Even if you are very efficient, if you end up in the wrong place, you still won't achieve the original goal and it will be useless. So if you must choose between the two, you should prioritize effectiveness and efficiency. However, in daily life, we often judge based on efficiency, calling it good management, which is something everyone needs to be cautious about. Now let's look at the right side. Besides the red task environment we just talked about, there are many other items because truly studying management takes at least one semester. But if we want to highlight the most important points, I think the task environment is the one that needs to be understood the most. The task environment includes the work you need to complete, whether it's a job, J-O-B, or a task, T-I-S-K. The situation in which the job or task is completed must first be analyzed. After analysis, you can set an appropriate goal. This appropriate goal is the task you want to achieve. Therefore, when setting goals, you must conduct an appropriate analysis of the task environment. Furthermore, to complete this task, if you are a group or a team, it involves interactions between different people. Everyone has their own expertise and personality. So some people say, is the difficulty in management about managing people and handling affairs, or handling affairs and managing people? So that Li means to clarify and categorize it. So you need to make it clear. Is it more difficult to clarify human relationships, or is it more difficult to clarify things, tasks, problems, and situations? And what is Guan? Guan is like try to get it in place. Managing tasks and managing people are both important. And why is that? It's because there are people involved. The difficult thing about people is that you want their hands and feet to achieve your goals and complete a task, but you can't just cut off their head or take away their heart. They will always have their own mind, their own thoughts, and their own personality, so you can't just focus on their skills. The culture of the organization and the team, that is within the green level of the organization, we particularly emphasize the formation of the team and the culture of the organization. Perhaps later, some of you will have practical experiences that we can bring up. We can then discuss actual issues, such as the challenges and references in team formation and shaping organizational culture. The organizational structure is actually the third point. What I want to say is that the organizational structure is the most basic. In other words, if you have a group or a team, you are all assembled to achieve the team's task objectives. Because if one person can complete a task, there is no need for two people to do it. Why do you need management? It's because you have more than one person, or even if you are alone, you need management because you are not simply doing one thing at a time. Your considerations also involve one thing. So because you have multiple people, times, events, places, and things all intertwined, you need to categorize them and design an organizational structure. So different people do different things. So you must follow their expertise, which may lead to what is called division of labor. Division of labor is just about exerting effort. In the knowledge economy era, we focus more on other knowledge, skills, and expertise. We will assign these within an organizational structure. After the organizational structure is assigned, once you allow it to be specialization because you have divided it, the best way, of course, is for one person to do everything. But since one person cannot complete it, many people need to work together to accomplish it. So how do you divide one task for multiple people to complete together? Then we divide the work based on his specialization, his expertise, and specialization. But once you divide the work, it involves how detailed the division should be and into how many layers. After dividing, can this task really be assigned to someone to complete? And can he do it from start to finish? To successfully complete our tasks and achieve our goals, when you make it specialization, it has already been divided. So you relatively need coordination. You need to coordinate. Because when the same task is divided and two people need to complete it simultaneously, they need to coordinate with each other. If it is within an organizational structure with multiple layers, like 2 or 3 layers, where the lower layer receives direct guidance from the upper layer, then you need what we call control. So in an organizational structure, if we look at it horizontally, horizontal units or horizontal individuals, they need coordination between each other. But the vertical structure requires control. It requires management because superiors assign work to subordinates, and after completion, subordinates must report back. They are in line with the overall mission direction. Each small organization, each small unit has its own tasks and goals, so coordination is needed between them, but control is needed between the upper and lower levels. So